Sometimes, the moment we speak our success, it begins to slip away. We do not lose it because we lack talent. We lose it because we speak it too soon. Let me take you back to a time of stone walls and cobbled streets, a time when a young man named Aldrich lived in a small kingdom nestled between dark forests and misty hills. Aldrich was a blacksmith's apprentice. He had strong arms and a hungry heart. Every week, a new ambition burned in his chest. One week, he wanted to forge the finest sword in the realm. The next week, he dreamed of building his own forge. Then, he swore he would become the kingdom's mastersmith. But Aldrich had a habit. One he did not know was stealing everything from him. Before he struck a single hammer blow, he would run to the village square. He would climb onto the old fountain and shout, "Hear me! I will forge a sword so great the king himself will kneel before it." The villagers paused. They clapped. They cheered. They called him bold. They called him destined for greatness. Aldrich felt proud. That night, he slept like a lord. But when morning came and the anvil waited cold, his arms felt heavy. The fire in his chest had cooled. Days passed. He never struck the first spark. A month later, a new idea arrived. He gathered the crowd again. "I will build the largest forge in the province. My name will echo in every hall." Again, the praise. Again, the smiles. Again, he felt as if he had already succeeded. And again, when it was time to work, the energy was gone. This became his life. He spoke of success. The people celebrated his words. But his hands stayed empty. His anvil gathered rust. And deep inside, a weight grew heavier each season. He did not understand. Why did his success always die? One evening, Aldrich sat outside the village gates, staring at the forest. An old man approached, a retired master smith who lived in a small hut beyond the fields. He rarely came to the village. When he did, people spoke of him with quiet respect. He sat beside Aldrich and asked in a low, gentle voice, "Boy, why do you carry such a heavy shadow?" Aldrich sighed. "I dream of success, but nothing I begin ever lives. I do not know what is wrong with me." The old man nodded slowly. "Tell me, what do you do when a new goal comes to you?" Aldrich shrugged. "I tell everyone. I want them to see that I am meant for something great." The old man smiled. "Come with me at dawn. I will show you something." The next morning, he led Aldrich to his humble forge, a small shelter of stone and wood. On the workbench lay 2 identical pieces of raw iron. He handed one to Aldrich. The old man said, "Take this iron, work it in secret. Heat it in the coals, hammer it, fold it, tell no one. Return to me when it is shaped into a blade." Aldrich took the iron and nodded. Then the old man lifted the second piece. He walked to the village path where children played. He held it high and said, "Look, little ones, this iron will become the sharpest blade ever forged. Come and see what I will make." The children clapped. They gathered around. He smiled and placed that iron on a wooden post by the well, left it in the open. Days passed. Aldrich worked in silence. Each evening, he heated his iron in a small hidden fire. He hammered gently, folded it, heated again. He spoke nothing of it. The old man's iron sat on the post. Rain fell, sun dried it. A thin layer of rust began to creep across its surface. It never saw a hammer, it never touched the fire. A fortnight later, Aldrich returned to the old man's forge with a rough blade, still unpolished but shaped by patient hands. The old man held it, felt its weight, and nodded. Then he pointed to the piece on the post. It was crusted with rust. A deep crack had formed along its side. It was no longer fit for any blade. The old man spoke quietly. Iron needs fire and hammer to become strong. It needs darkness and patience. It must be worked in secret while it finds its soul. When you drag it into the open too soon, if you boast of it before it is ready, it rusts, it cracks, it never becomes what it was meant to be. Aldrich stared at the rusted iron. Something in his chest began to shift. The old man continued, "When you speak your success too early, you taste the reward before you earn it. The praise of others gives you pleasure. Your mind begins to believe the work is already done. The fire you needed for action is burned up in words. Your success dies, not because it was impossible, but because you fed it to the crowd instead of the forge." Aldrich's face flushed. He had done exactly that. Every announcement had felt like success, but it was only the ghost of success. The applause became his reward, and so he never needed to finish. The old man placed a hand on his shoulder. Goals are fragile at the beginning. Protect them. Let your success grow in the quiet heat of your labor. When the blade is finished, the whole village will see its edge. You will not need to announce it. That night, he made a choice. He chose one goal. He would forge a simple hunting knife, a small thing, nothing grand, and he told no one. Every evening, after his work at the village forge, he stayed behind. He did not speak of his plan. He simply worked. Some nights the fire was hard to light. Some nights he struck his thumb instead of the steel. But because no one knew, no one asked, no one expected, he carried only the weight of the work, not the weight of watching eyes. Days became weeks. The blade began to take shape. He made mistakes. He learned. Slowly, the metal grew strong, smooth, true. When the knife was finished, Aldrich held it in his hands. He felt something he had never known before. It was not the hot pride of shouted words. It was a quiet, deep satisfaction. The pride of something real. The pride of success that had been protected until it was ready. One morning, a knight passed through the village and saw the knife resting on Aldrich's bench. He picked it up, turned it in the light, and said, "Who made this? The balance is perfect." Aldrich smiled quietly. "I did." The knight raised an eyebrow. "I heard no boasting about it." Aldrich nodded. "I wanted to finish it first." Word spread, but slowly. The knife was followed by a sword, then a shield. Each time, Aldrich told no one. He worked in silence. He let the metal speak for him when it was done. Years passed. Aldrich became known as the village's finest smith, not because he shouted his intentions, but because his work stood stronger than any words. He never again climbed onto the fountain. He only placed his finished craft where the world could see it. His success did not die anymore. It grew, hidden in the quiet fire of daily effort. Now, think about your own life. How many times have you spoken a goal and felt the energy drain away? How many dreams have you shown to the world too early, only to watch them wither? When you speak your success, you give away its power. You let the approval of others replace your own labor. You feed the iron to rust before it ever tastes the flame. Keep your goals close. Let them grow in the dark. Let your work speak when it is ready. The world does not need to hear what you are building. It only needs to see what you have built.